Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and I'm back again with yet another Christmas wallet or gift card holder. I have quite a few of these to make. I have a big order to fulfill as well, so I'm using my videos to design and show you what I'm working at. So this is another one. It is a belly band one, which is pretty easy, but I love the wee shape of it. Thought it was a wee bit different. Nice wee sentiment there, and I've again layered the pocket up very slightly so that I can get notes in there, but it'll also fit a nice gift card very easily, no bother. So this is what we're going with, and I'll show you how simple and quick it is. And that is my idea this Christmas, to have quick and simple ideas, but that will look lovely when they're finished. You don't want to just throw something together, it looks horrible. So this is the main one that we're doing now today, and what I have used to be a wee bit different is the lovely Christmas Gleaming. I have used this one and this one, and as you can see, this one has been done in Melon Mambo to match the lovely papers. These are from the Plaid Tidings, and I've just stamped it and then coloured it with, just moved the ink around with the Wink of Stella for two of the things. The wee band has been stamped with this lovely wee border stamp, which is nice. I haven't used it a lot, and once I have started using it, I really like it now. So that's what we're using. The inside sentiment was this one from Peaceful Boughs, which is another lovely sentiment, and we got the shape by simply, we're not actually using the dies. I want it quick and easy. I just used a pencil, drew around the edge, used the next layer to make the bottom one perfect. So that makes it all easy, and these are the stitch nested label dies. My goodness, that's a mouthful. And the colour that we're going with this time is the lovely Pretty Peacocks from last year's in colours, wasn't it? Yeah. So I've went ahead and done these, but I will show you how to do one if you're interested. So let's get started. It really is quick, easy and very simple, and if you have these dies, great. If you haven't, just use your ruler and mark it all out. You go for it. My brain won't work like that for fast. So what we need, I have all my information in the thing here, 2 7/8 wide by 11.5 long, and then we're going to score it. In fact, we're going to cut the V first, and then we're going to score it so to get my scoring right. Oh, no, we'll do it now. Such a mix-up, huh? I don't think it really makes any difference. In my head it did last night, but I really don't think it does. So we're going to score it at, I have these slightly marked, 3.5 inches, and then go down to 8 inches, and that's it. And this is going to be your top. That one will fold down like so. Just make sure that it's nice and straight. And this one will fold up on the inside. So we want to go like this, and we're going to make this our top, and go with your biggest label die and get it right up there and line it up perfectly with your piece of card. It is made to fit this label, so you shouldn't have any bother. Unless you have a shaky hand. I'm actually going to flip it over. Maybe it's the dots that's making me all crazy here. I want it right up to the top, and I want it to be perfect on both sides. And then just go in with your pencil, mark those two lines. Use your cutter or whatever you have, line it up with those two lines on your bar. Chop it off, do the same for this one. And there you have the perfect wee point. So you need your DSP now, and we have one for the top, and I need to work out which one's which. That's it. That one's on the inside and that one's on the back. So yes, take your one, turn it over to the opposite side. We're going with this lovely Pretty Peacock colour. Not overly Christmas, but still is going to do the job. So go in with your smaller one this time, and that should fit your width of paper perfectly. Again, line it up, keeping it nice and straight, and go in with your pencil. And we're just going to use our cutter again. If I can see the lines, you can just cut it with your scissors if you haven't got a crooked eye. And that should fit in there nicely. And it just gives you the perfect wee finish. That actually is too long. I'm going to trim it. I never told you the measurements, and I hope I haven't picked up the wrong one. So your DSP for the front V is 3 2/8 by 2 5/8 wide. So 3 2/8. Should be, you know. I just must have measured that wrong. Very sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that makes all the difference. I think for this one I went slightly longer, and I forgot to adjust my sizes to it. So we're just going to double measure that for you, so that you'll know and make sure I've got the right thing down. Yeah, 3 2/8 should be the length of it, and then you chop it off, which brings it to 3. Yeah, 3 2/8. I must have just had it a fraction too long. My measurements were right. So you'll be okay. You'll see all these measurements on my blog, and yes, they are right. So we can get rid of those now. We're finished with them. And we'll just stick this onto there. Just using wet glue because I like to be messy. I got a big order of this in the other day, and it arrived at the door, and you'd swear somebody had just kicked it around a playground or something. It was full of holes, and I said, oh my goodness, I thought the glue was going to be everywhere, but there wasn't one dent in the actual glue bottles, thank goodness. But oh, it's this time of the year, isn't it, where they're under stress and so many parcels, and they just don't care. So pop that on there nice and straight, Patricia. And then we're going to, this one here is your decoration, so keep that at the bottom. Put this one in here. I seem to have that measurement okay. So glue that. I'll tell you the measurement of that now if I can get my glue out. So the inside one is 3.5 inches by 2 5/8. They're all 2 5/8 wide. So this one is 3.5 inches long. And you just want to center it like so. And then this one is going to be your back. So this is going to fold up here. We're going to cut a scoop there. We're going to center there, fold that down. This one is going to go in your back. And the back one measures 4 2/8 by 2 5/8. And we'll just double check. Yep. Isn't it funny that one thought of a measurement being off and the whole thing seems knocked off on you? And now I've got glue on the table. It's going to be one of those days. Prepare yourselves. So line that up. And that's all nicely covered. Now I'm going to go in this one with about 1.5 inches maybe. Use whatever size you have, or don't do it at all. It's entirely up to yourself. So I'm bringing it into the halfway mark, lining it up between the two sections, just to give us a wee easier scoop to get things in and out. And again, we're going to use some of our cheap ones out of the pound shop, and we're going to line it up either side to form that pocket. So that's all those wee bits put on there, so we can remove those and stick it down. Just keep them as close to the edge as you can, and make sure you're right up to the top to keep it all in place. You know, when they're pulling the money out, you don't want it falling apart. So just fold that up, making sure it's lined up, and give it a wee press, and that should take fine. So we want to stamp a wee sentiment here, and I chose that one out of Peaceful Boughs, and we're going to ink it up. My ink pad is fairly moist. It hasn't been used a lot, so I had to scoot some of the ink down when I was doing a bit of stamping there to get rid of some. So this is going to go in here, so if you can, keep that down. Sort of line it up as best you can. Let's hope that's right. I have not got a crooked eye from this angle, or a straight eye I should say. So, may the spirit of peace gently fill your heart and home in this most wonderful time of year. I think it's a lovely sentiment. So that is that done. So we need to do now our belly band. And your belly band needs to be 1 inch wide by 7 inches long, and we're going to use this lovely wee stamp here that I was telling you about, and we're just going to work our way along. It doesn't matter about matching or whatever, we're just going to go for it. So I'll go this way. Put it to the center of your belly band and just keep pressing along. It is a beautiful wee stamp. Now, this one may not need to be done. I'm going to measure it round my... Make sure it's dry. You do not want to rub it at this stage. So you want to line that up. Sort of maybe more to this side so that this one will close on top of it, and just work it round nice and gently. You don't want it to be tight. You want it to be able to slide off. So no, we don't need to do that. That's just lining up nice and perfectly for us. So that's good to know. We can get rid of that. So we'll glue this up. Where's my wet glue? I like it to hold. I don't want it falling to bits, and I know that came right over to more or less the end of that, so we'll go to about here. Not too blobby. This one is running done. If you're using a fresh one, just be careful it doesn't blob right out on you. So make sure they're lined up perfectly in the center. Worry about the edges later, but just keep those that they're all nice. Hopefully you're not going to see them, depending on how good you are at adding your baubles. So these are the baubles, and I purposely put this seam to the front so that we can cover this. So that one will go on and that one will go on there, but I prefer the seam to be over slightly, which is why you don't want to press this yet, just to make sure that you're lining it up where you want it to line up. You want the big bauble to be covering the seam, if at all possible. Isn't that much better? And then this one can overlap slightly. So I think it is fractionally better. Could scoot it in a wee bit, you know. So work that out in your head before you do it, depending on what you're putting in the front. If you're putting those baubles, if you have them, then you want them, the big one, to cover it. So slide that in again. I have a dimensional on the back of that, so that should sit there, and I have it in the place where it won't stick to this, it'll only stick to the band. So that's another thing you need to remember. Same with this wee one. I've already went ahead and tied a bow with a wee bit of sparkly baker's twine. And I'm going to show you in a second how I coloured that. You don't see as much of the band to the front, and now you can press those seams down that you have it so that it'll slide nice and easy for you. So down at the bottom we have the Merry Christmas stamped out, which is out of the same stamp set on the same ink, and I've just cut round it, leaving a wee white border so that it sits out against the matching paper. So you just want to pop it in the middle, Merry Christmas. That can sit up a wee bit. And that's pretty nice, like, isn't it? And then you've got that lovely decorative band around the back, which is cute. So the only thing I wanted to show you, if you did want to know, is get your bauble, ink it up. Whoa dear. Get a piece of card. This is just done on Whisper White. You don't need any watercolor card or anything like that. So just ink it all up, stamp it out. This will do for my next one. And while that is still wet, get your Wink of Stella and get in there really quick. Just plain Wink of Stella, and it drags that colour almost immediately for you. And if you're looking a bit of depth, then go in and put a wee blob of the ink. I'll show you it now. It does dry very quickly, so you need to be fast. And if you're not happy, as I say, with the depth, then this is what you'll do. So I've sprayed that as much as humanly possible there, so just using the same, just dip that in, get a wee bit of ink, using your brush again, spread it out a wee bit, and just start at this side and go over to make the sides that wee bit darker. And it gives it a wee sort of angle that it's curved rather than just leaving it flat. Same with the other. Scoot it round. And just spread it. And it does give it a wee bit more depth and that bit of shine in the centre. And then just use the really dark colour to colour in your wee bauble holder. Just keep dipping it in for each bit so it gives you that depth. And the brush is that good, it allows you to do that wee tiny bit at the top, and then just as usual wash it off, just scoot it on your paper till it's clean, till it runs clear. Very quick, very easy. I would not be without my Wink of Stella, I'd be lost without it. So there you have it. The bows have been glued up, excuse me, with a bit of Yoo-Hoo glue. You can use your mini glue dots. I just prefer to put bows on with Yoo-Hoo glue. I don't know why, but I just want them to be permanent. So hopefully you'll have a wee go at that one. It is quick, it is easy, and you'll get maybe 3 out of the strip of the A4 card. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching out, and I'll have all the details down below and a link to my blog to give you all the measurements if you missed them. Bye.